So when Donald Trump sees the world, this is what he sees. Down in South Africa, we're a crime-ridden mess. I mean, it's the cartoon, but it's based on things he has said. And this you can get off the web for some of you who are trying to do. Just Google Donald Trump's policies and click images. Sure, you'll have a field day of seeing what comes up. So that's the way he sees the world. And as we heard, because when America sneezes, the whole world catches a cold, we have now become resensitized to issues that have been existing in our psyche, and we haven't been prompted to react. And suddenly we're reacting. And Professor Zondi gave us a very nice overview of how this kind of plays out on the global arena. So when just this week President Trump signed this new immigration executive order, he reduced the number of countries, and this map has not been modified because now Iraq is excluded from that. And we also heard in Professor Zondi's talk that Trump's way of acting out his strategy is to use what instruments at his disposal to best advance what he's trying to do. So because Iraq, the Iraqi government has offered assistance for him in his security mandate, so they have now been excluded from those lists of countries to which the the immigration new laws start to act from. So yes, we all are concerned about security. I mean, if you were at Joburg International yesterday, how was it possible that a heist of the nature that has taken place would a vehicle, supposedly with all the necessary security mandates to enter that landing area, got there, and money presumed to be to the value of 20 million was stolen? How is this possible? People were calling in on 702 as I was driving in this morning, talking about the levels of security that's in place. So, what security and for whom? You've got to ask, and apparently this is not the first time it's happened. So there's a lot going on that you can draw from just what's going on in the world today, that reminds us to think about, we live in a crazy world. Lots of things have happened. We become socialized from various past experiences, and then we react. We're very reactive also. And what makes us react in the way that we do? Is it our biological difference? Or is it the way we have become accustomed to thinking based on the various experiences that have helped shape us? So I strongly believe that as scientists, being part of fora like this, where we utilize some of the tools that we have in science, that we should start, becoming evangelistic in some ways, of soundbiting the voice of reason, if I can call it that, with some sound bites of scientific information that can start making a difference. And I try to do this using the analogy of a tree. It's a dumbed-down version representing the way in which the patterns of human mitochondrial DNA variation seen globally can be represented easy for people to understand. And some of you have heard me speak before, probably heard it, so I apologize for the repetitious nature of what I'm about to say. what I normally use a tree for is to say to people, all of us living today can be assumed to be a leaf that fits somewhere on the tree. So you don't know where that leaf fits because it's a tree with many, many leaves. By doing the kind of mitochondrial mapping that we can do, I can analyze your leaf and figure out on which twig and branch your leaf is anchored. And from there, your journey from that leaf through the twig and the smaller branches and the bigger branches eventually converge or coalesce to that common trunk. So it doesn't matter which branch your leaf is based, you still belong to that same tree. So it's one tree, we're one species, and we have a common shared heritage. So different things may shape us in different ways, but when you look at how the leaves are assorted, or a cluster of leaves, illustrated by the circles, and then the alphanumeric codes within them are just the nomenclature or the way in which scientists make reference to the different sub-branches. The green branch circles are on branches most commonly found in Africa. And as you go towards Europe and Asia, in the European side, the sub-branches from N become common, and from the Asian side, the branches from M for Mandi become common. So this is the kind of distribution, but they all come back to that common trunk. And so this has become a very useful way, even when I conduct field research in areas where people do not have access to all these sophisticated tools. I do see a tree somewhere, and I can point to a tree and use the same analogy to try telling the story. And so one of the things I wish to use the kind of topic for this forum is to use a bit of scientific knowledge base to extend that message to allow people to think. And I do realize that I do this in a context where many people's mindsets have already been shaped by culture and religion. Tonight I'm giving a talk at the Waterfall Old Age Estate in Midrand, and it's like oversubscribed. They want to record the talk so that those who can't get in, the venue only holds 135 people, can watch it later. People are excited by this sound of thing, and of course the second question will be, so where does God fit into this? In the same way, Mulu, who took me to see Lucy, asked me, do you believe in this? And I said, well, do you believe that this fossil is representative, and not just this one, there's a whole lot in the museum. It's real things that are part of the past. And then I gave her the short lesson of how it is possible that if you take a human's DNA and that of an earthworm and you mix it under certain conditions, 66% will be the same. And she said, really? And I said, oh, it gets better. You take human and a daffodil and you mix that together and 33% would be the same. So I said, well, that make you interpret this as you're 1/3 daffodil and 2/3 worm? She asked me that question because there was a poster about humans, on the hominid line, being close to chimps and other primates. So the message is that people will go to a museum, they will see a thing, they would laud it, they would applaud it, and then when they go away, you come back to the niche from whence you've come. So how then do we make science information accessible to start building into this dialogue of intersecting with the societal issues. And I think that is the main message that I want to get out of this. Thank you very much.